today we have a very special guest joining in, Philem Rohan, whom I have been following. He's a cyclist. He's cycling from New Delhi to Manipur. He started way back on January 8th, and right now he's in Dimapur. And today he'll be joining us to share his journey, his experiences, and definitely share about some gratitude and thankfulness as part of our core project. So let me bring him up. Hello, Rohan. Welcome to our show.
Hello, madam.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good.
All right. So we have taken some time to schedule and time to get him here on our show. And luckily, before he is reaching Manipur to join us. So to start the show, why don't you go ahead and introduce about yourself?
Yes. So my name is Rohan, and I'm from Manipur, and I'm from a beautiful place called Moirang. And I'm a lawn cyclist who's now traveling all the way from Delhi, and it's like so far, so near to my destination, and it's about like some 200 to 300 kilometers to reach my destination.
Can you share about how you came up with the idea of cycling and taking up this long journey?
Okay, so from my very childhood, I've been having the passion of riding bicycle, and from the very young age of class 5 and 6, like I had the habit of riding rickshaws and helping my family members to carry waters or garden menus and so many other family needs. So that was the time where I gained my own stamina to cycle for a very long distance. And from class 7 onwards, I started to go to school with bicycle, and that's how my cycling habit keeps on increasing. And then that's my passion for being. Then one day suddenly something struck in my mind when I was in Delhi. There was a very thick fog which covered all of Delhi. While I was in Delhi, I think it was in the month of November, the day after Diwali. So the fog was very thick that I could not even see my friends who were standing next 10 meters to me. So this idea struck my mind that if I could do my passion with a purpose, then I could at least impact at least some few citizens in India, so that like we can come up with an idea of cycle culture in India and all over the world. So that's how I started to go with this idea.
Nice. And I have been following your cycling. So do you want to share about your journey from the time you started from Delhi and right now you're in Dimapur?
So my journey went very good, as well as like there are some worst part in my journey. First of all, to be sincere with all the people who are seeing me right now, like I almost have so many financial needs and financial problem. That's the very first thing. And I've not got any kind of sponsors from anyone else or any kind of NGOs and the government officials. So right now my friends, they have supported me from the best level by giving me some $1,000 $2,000 from their own pocket money, and that's how I'm managing the journey, and from my own pocket money. And of course my family members, they are my main sponsors right now. So with this kind of struggles, I've been struck journey. And in my way, I've not faced that much very difficult situation, except for some kind of swellings and body pains and fevers. So that's how I'm still managing my ride.
I see. So how many hours are you riding every day? And how many miles are you
Uh,
targeting?
Probably it's like 1 month to complete the whole journey. So on 6th of this month, it's going to be 28th day, and by 8th of February, I'm going to reach my hometown, which is Moirang. And per day, the approximate kilometer which I target is about like 10 hours, traveling at least 100 kilometers or maybe sometimes more than that. But sometimes it depends because so many people they used to invite me in schools and colleges and in some universities sometimes to speak and interact with the students. So if I'm invited in such a way, then sometimes I have to change the schedule and I have to manage from time to time.
All right. So, what is your main message you have been giving, in your interaction with people you have been meeting?
Uh, so there are particularly two very main themes which I am bringing to all the youths and all the citizens which I have interacted. The first theme goes with anti-pollution, and which means like if we have a cycle culture in India, our pollution level will be so decreased and we can breathe clean air and we can also live fitly. So that's the very first theme which I'm giving to all the citizens of India. The second theme is a kind of inspiration, motivational inspiration, which I'm giving to all the citizens of India. And it's a kind of challenge that if I could drive all the way from Delhi to Manipur by bicycle, then why don't you go for your personal work? Why don't you go for your job? Why don't you go for your schools? Or why don't you go for your any kind of stuff with cycle? So that's the challenge which I'm giving, a kind of motivation.
All right. What has been your response, when you have been sharing this message to the people as you're going through the journey?
I have even received standing ovation. Clappings are normal for my speeches, but I'm surprised that I've got a lot of standing ovation and like so many people like they approached me in the end of my speech and like they told me my body like I'm getting a goose for so many years of so that's the responses given by the crowd and audience to me.
How is the condition of the road? Is it cycle friendly?
From Delhi to I should say till Assam, the roads are very good. It's very good and like the best road, like I should say. But from starting from Guwahati till Dimapur, like I have faced a lot of road problems, especially in some of the areas here, in near to Dimapur. So roads are not that good around here, and I'm just hearing the news from folks around here that roads are not that good till Kohima and Mao. Particularly in the highway and rural areas, especially cities and all, like the roads are very good out there. Nothing is wrong with it. Yesterday was a very tough day for me because I was traveling a road which was not properly maintained, and it took me at least like 3 hours to complete 27 kilometers.
I see. So it's more like a mud road
A
and
mud road
not,
with a lot of stones. Yeah, yeah.
okay, got it. So as part of your journey, like, did you have any challenges, or condition which made you think that, oh my God, why am I even doing this? Should I give it up? So can you share that?
Yeah, yeah. I'll just tell you three incidents which made me think that way. The first incident is of course like a major point. Like I have also mentioned, like it will balances. There are sometimes like there are not a single penny in my bank account, like nothing at all. So I have to wait for my friends to send me, help and from the family members too. And the second incident was it was in Muzaffarpur, Bihar. I was having a very big swelling in my left cheek, and I was crying in middle of the road by driving bicycle, and there was no help, nothing at all. It was in the middle of like middle of nowhere. It was in the middle of so many paddy fields. So I cried on that day. Tears were on my eyes, and I just thought that like I just want to quit this journey. Why am I doing this? Like nobody is seeing my difficulties. Nobody's helping me. So why should I do it? And then there was no help coming out. But I should at least reach my destination. Otherwise, like I was the only one who's going to be responsible to bear own pain and is going to bear my own struggle. So I just tried for at least 40 kilometers, and then there were some army personnel to pick me up from 32nd Battalion of SSP. And there is one more incident that recently happened yesterday. I was crossing a jungle in middle of I think it was around 6 around at night in 6 p.m. in here. So it was a very risky jungle. I was about to cross that jungle, and I started crossing the jungle halfway, and then some people came and like they told me like it's a very risky jungle and one of the dangerous jungle that you can ever cross. And for 20 kilometers I lost my network. So these people, they came in an auto and they just picked me up and they told me like it's kind of like suicide mission, that if you want to travel from here to your destination, which is a place called Manja, somewhere near to Dimapur. So that whole was route which was covered by the forest department, and that whole route was a forest area where no networks are there, nothing at all, no people are there. So yesterday, like I think I just saved myself from a very great danger.
So what I'm hearing is like, you're having all this, uh, I guess, unexpected scenario.
And
What did you
yeah,
expect in
unexpected
the
scenario.
beginning? Like you thought like, oh, it's gonna be just like a normal cycling trip, and you didn't
Yeah, yeah,
expect
yeah.
all that.
Yes. There were one like two or three incidents that happened in UP and Bihar where I was traveling that night. And for me, like covering from it approximately at least like 2 hours for me. So from the starting of the jungle till the my destination, it was just 40 kilometers. So I thought like I just can cover this distance in the next 2 hours. So without knowing the condition of the jungle, without knowing proper information of the jungle, I just started to drive. And that's how like people came like next to me and they told me like it's a kind of like quite dangerous, you should not cross it. And that's how they picked me up and helped me. One was there in Bihar. It was a day where I was traveling alone at night on that day also. And then this truck driver, this Tata Magic driver came and then he said, I know, brother, you are doing a course and you are going for an awareness, but this is just, kind of very dangerous thing that you are doing. You are just driving in the middle of nowhere in very late night, and this is something, opposite to the awareness that you are doing. So it doesn't make sense to just travel very late at night by bicycle without no one's eye on you. So I'll just pick you up, drop to your hotel. I was traveling at least like 5 kilometers with him on that day.
I
It
see.
depends.
So
Sometimes
you, yeah,
it
so you
depends.
kind of use
Sometimes.
the judgment depending on
Yeah, yeah,
the condition
especially
and
during
situation.
especially during night times. Yeah, especially during night.
I saw your bicycle and I saw that you have a very small backpack. Is that the only thing you're carrying?
I just have two bags. One bag in my bag and another small luggage in next to me. Like I don't carry much clothes and I don't carry much belongings.
Yeah, so what do you carry? That's what I'm very curious to understand. Like, how
Uh,
are you managing? Because
uh,
nobody is like supporting you in the sense that nobody is following you, or it's only you alone, right?
mhm.
You and your bicycle.
uh, okay, so I just have like four pairs of clothes, four jackets, four pants, and some inners like thermals, and I have some particular letterhead from my government, one atlas, some first aid medicines, and some particularly some perfumes and that's what I carry. Not much more than that. And other things I manage from time to time. I just carry my ATM, like I just buy from time to time. So it's a kind of ride with minimum luggage.
What would be your thoughts on how fit you have to be if you have to go for, such a cycling trip? And what has been your experience? Do you think like, you're fit enough, you were prepared for this trip?
hmm Okay, that's a very nice question, ma'am, and I'll answer that. There is particularly two things that always matters. One, it all starts from your mentality, and next your physical body. So looking myself physically, I'm not fit because 1 year back I just had an operation called varicose vein, and it was a laser treatment. It was a leg operation too. So if I look in terms of medical term, then I'm not fit to do this kind of ride. And my body weight is also like now underweight. So physically, actually looking in the term of fit, I'm fit enough to do this kind of ride. But I just have a strong assurance in my heart that I can complete this mission. So that's how I'm doing this mission.
So it's more, your mental outlook, your mental willpower,
Mental.
more than the physical
Uh,
aspect.
yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. All right. So, with all the challenges, you have started from January 8 and you're reaching, today is the 4th, uh, and you're almost there to
February.
the
Yeah.
destination. So,
Yes.
can you share some of the good moments,
Good moments. Yes.
good moments which made you feel like, okay, I did this. I'm glad I did this.
All of the people in India, especially all the Indians, I should say, like they have the mentality of not visiting Bihar or not going to Bihar, and like so many people used to comment me like with negative aspect that like please don't cross Bihar. Like that's the only statement that they have been mentioning about. But I'm proudly saying like representing the Bihar people. Like Bihar is one of my best place that I have ever visited, because the hospitality that I have received from Bihar is not the same from any part of places which I have ever landed, and it's all opposite to the expectation of people, and it's all opposite to the expectation of myself. Even people from Papu Yadav's people, they even host me, they even escorted me for so many long distance, and even chai wala roadside, they used to offer chai free of cost in Bihar. So Bihar experience is like mind blowing. It's awesome. So I spent a very good time in Bihar.
Wow, yeah, that's very interesting because your experience is showing that how people stereotype a community, or how the perception is there, uh, and your experience
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
human to human interaction. And you don't know anybody. So, yeah, that's so nice to hear. And I hope some of the people from Bihar are listening and, happy to hear your experience in Bihar.
Yeah, especially in Bihar too, I got so many standing ovation because like I told the same statement like how good Bihar and like my experience in Bihar. So I have received even like standing ovation from so many of the schools in Bihar.
So, yeah, let me bring up some of the pictures, and maybe you can
Okay.
just comment and share the moments of this picture. All right.
This was the starting of the swelling day on my left cheek. You can see my looks. The looks is already changed in this picture because there was a big swelling in my left cheek. See, and the swelling was so big that like my left cheek already like gone so big, and I was meant to speak. I could not even speak properly on this day. So I just like and to click this picture because I could this is a phase where I was reflecting how tired I am, but still the Indian flag was behind me, the nation was behind me, and the nation was in front of me, and the nation was a backbone for me. That's what the image really means.
Yeah, I love that you are having the flag, kind of national integrity.
Yeah.
Um,
This picture was taken in a place in Gurgaon in my own previous workplace called Teleperformance, Gurgaon. So I was an ex-employee of this company, Teleperformance, and there they have this particular festival called Fun Festival, and this was a pan India level competition. It was whole India level song competition, and I was in the third position in this competition. So I also sing. I sing a lot. I love to sing.
so, what kind of song do you sing?
Usually I go with positive vibe song. I believe in positive vibes, so I always go with positive theme song, especially with gospel song and like country songs, especially with the gospel, yeah, gospel songs. I
I
should say
see.
gospel songs.
Interesting. And this is another
Yeah,
of your
this is from Miss
performance.
Manipur. Yeah, from Miss Manipur.
Yeah, I know. I was looking up and I was like, oh, okay, he sings too. So this is the one on the day you started from India Gate.
Yeah, yeah, this is the day when I started from India again. Yeah, this was the very day where I started to do take this firm decision and start by my own.
How much time was the preparation time?
Preparation, like, it didn't take me too long. The only thing that I have to prepare was like for the press meet, for the finances, and for the proper planning and the routes and all. Routes, it depends from time to time, but especially the media coverage as well as the finances. That was the two major part which I have to go to properly, because media was one of the most important factor. Was this awareness will go viral, and by God's grace, like I was taken interview from PTI, Press Trust of India. I got even calls from NDTV and so many of the news channels, local news channels too.
Okay, so you got the media cover. So what was your expected budget, in terms of your trip?
Yeah, so including the cycle itself, the budget was almost covering about 5 lakhs, because I have to invest myself so much on eating, and the hotel charges too. Right now, it's all from my own expenses, and by the grace of God, sometimes hotel owners, like, they used to give me. There was a hotel in Greater Noida. That was the very first hotel which I stayed. So he took the money from me, but on my way when I was struck, he just called me back and told me, "I'm so sorry. Like, I told my staff not to take any single penny." So he just asked my bank account and sent me back the money itself. And then sometimes in other hotels they used to do 20% off for me, 13% off on me, 30% off for me. So that's how I manage. So per day, at least, like, including all the budgets, sometimes I used to spend maximum 5, minimum 3.5k, thousand, 3.5 thousand to 5,000. So estimation, including all the bicycle, the servicing, and all, the budget was like about 5k, 5 lakhs budget
Okay,
for this ride.
and how much did you get sponsorship? Because from what I'm hearing, you haven't got much financial support so far.
Still now, my family, they are men sponsors, I should say. My family, they have given me like the necessary money. They are all doing all the backups, and I've got some helps from some of the ministers as in the form of donors, but not officially. I have approached them for help, so like they just gave me some amount of money, like 10,000. I have, I mean, like, I've updated all their names in Facebook too. Those people, those ministers who have helped me, and there are also so many of my friends and my buddies who have helped me financially. This was the day in Ita. I still remember. It was a place called Ita in UP. And here I was invited as a chief guest of the function. So I was giving my awareness messages too, and also speaking about Swami Vivekananda and like, some of the motivation and inspiration to all the kids out there. Just driving the bicycle in Indian flag, so many people notice that I'm an Indian. But there was sometimes incident that people ask me, like, "Are you an Indian, or are you coming from abroad, or are you doing this journey under government of India by coming from abroad?" So that was some of the questions, because like my looks was sometimes not an Indian to some people. So they were asking me, "Are you from Thailand or China?" Or those kind of questions also came to me.
Like, can you share about your reflection? I'm sure this is a very, spiritual, reflective journey for you because you are spending a lot of time alone. Can you share some of your thoughts and, I guess, reflection as part of your journey?
Mhm. So, like sometimes in life we have to go out alone, and sometimes there are some answers which are answer when we are alone. So, like when we are in crowd, when we are in a massive amount of people, then like our mind gets rushy, and like we don't get any kind of answers and any kind of particular things, any kind of reflection. But when you go out, when you spend time alone meditating in your plan, in your decision, then like you start to get your own reflection, who you are, what you are, and what you are born for. So this time I think like I have met I mean like I have just found the reason why I'm born, and like what I have to do in my as a human being.
So what did you find?
So I just follow this statement, particular a quotation. So there was an old saying in olden timers, "Jack of all, master of none." So I twisted the quotation as in this. So I should this in this way: Jack of all and master of one. So I have become master of cycling, whereas I sing, I go for teaching, I walk the ramp, and that's what I do.
So you're saying that you have learned to be more focused. You want to be more
Yeah,
focused.
yeah, more focused. Yeah, more focused on cycling right now. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that's interesting reflection. So you had shared, a lot about your family support. Can you
Mhm.
share a little bit about your family?
Yeah, that's something. I mean, like a nice part again that I'm finding very nice to share. Like, I have been brought up by my paternal grandfather and grandmother, my uncles and aunties. My mother got divorced when I was in class 2. My father passed away when I was in class 12. And it was a kind of late, I've been brought up without my parents. So my paternal grandfather, grandmother, they raised me up to this age. And it is all because of them that I can reach till in this position, I should say. So like they are more than my family, more than my father and mother to me.
So you grew up without your biological parents, and
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so did you? Do you want to share a little bit of growing in such situation, your insecurities,
Yes,
and
yes. Um, I have a very loving uncle, and I think I should speak about him. He's right now 34 years old, and he's unmarried. And the reason being, I every time ask him like, we call it kaka in our own language in Manipur. So I told him, kaka, why don't you get married? Like it's already too late for you. Like 34 years and age is like too late for you to get married. And then he just answered me with one beautiful like sentence. He said, "In the last moment of your father, when your father was in his last moment, he made me to make a promise that until and unless I get myself settled and I myself get a job or I'm settled properly, my father warned my uncle not to get married." So that was the promise made between my uncle and my father, and that's the reason why my uncle is still unmarried. So I mean like I'm so proud to have him as my uncle, and he still sacrificed so many things just for the sake of me. And even the previous month, I hope and I believe like he just sent all of his salary for this project to me. So it's a kind of like a very big sacrifice that he have done for me.
so what does your uncle do?
Uncle, he is an junior engineer in Central Agricultural University. He's an JE.
Wow, that's so inspiring to hear. Like
Uh-huh.
his relation with you.
Yeah.
So, so what do you intend to become? When is it that you would be called settled?
Yeah. By taking this decision of riding this bicycle ride, I have so many opportunities coming up right now. So I probably when I check the net right now, I'm one of the youngest Indian to go with this kind of lawn project bicycle ride. So I'm just planning to break some world record if possible by riding cycle for some more long distance so that I can break world record. And then once I set the record, and I'm planning to go for some good options, maybe government jobs, or like I should link with some of the NGOs and like go for this kind of social cause and social things.
I see. So you are aspired to continue with cycle riding in different
Yeah.
form and kind of carrying a social message. And you want to
Yes,
expand it
social
not
message. Yeah,
only to riding in India, but all over the world.
but also abroad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I wish you all the best, and I hope that you will be successful and your uncle
Yeah.
will get
Thank you.
married.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. So I know that we spoke about our gratitude project.
Yeah, I'll just go with two-person who has impacted me to do this kind of positive vibes, or like I have a local icon, I should say, like from Manipur, and an international icon. So the first one comes with this person, a film star. His name is Rajkumar Kaiku. We call it as Somarendro. He's a renowned film star of our state, and there are so many films which I've watched for him, and like, he has so much inspired me to become someone great. And he has served in film industry for 18 years, and he is still now an evergreen star in our state, I should say. He has never faded his true color, and he has never faded his glory. Yeah, that's the picture of my icon, and that's the person whom I admire. And sometimes we used to talk in phone, and like it's such a great privilege to hear from him. Sometimes he's calling me and asking me how are you doing, and like how's your journey going on. And there was a message given by him few years back. There was a film called Mikiti. It's a Manipuri movie, and he was getting a role as an MCS officer. So there was an unknown boy who even planned to commit suicide along with his mother because he was not getting a job. So in that movie called Mithi, this particular star of mine, he was struggling so hard with his mother, and like he became an MCS officer by struggling so much, and that film inspired that particular person, and he became the real MCS in his real life. So that's how like the films are also impacting people's life. So I have got so many inspiration and so many kind of motivation from person.
I have seen some of his movies, and what I'm hearing from you is you like his work, you like his interaction, to the
Yeah.
people of Manipur, including you. And his
Mhm.
work shows, I guess, real life issues and problem and inspiration that could,
Yes.
be impacted, and people
Mhm.
can take action on it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm guessing that is at the level of Manipur. How about your gratitude for people at the global level?
Global level. Okay. I'm inspired with one of the person called Matt Raymond. He's a Christian gospel singer, and he sings a lot of positive song, and so many of the concerts and so many of the stages which I've ever performed about my singing career, like I always go with his songs. I always go with his songs, and because like yeah, he's the person. So there's a very famous song sung by him, and the title of the song is called 10,000 Reasons. And the song tells that we find thousands of reasons to offend our like to happiness, to destruct our so many reasons coming up to destroy our joy, to destroy our happiness. But this person finds 10,000 reasons to bless the Lord because he is so much pleased with the blessings and grace of God. I'm really inspired by his song, and his scripts about the lyrics of the songs.
All right. So how come you are very attracted to gospel songs? Like when did that inspiration
Uh,
start?
so church has been, one of the one not one of the church is the major turning point of mine, I should say, because uh, as I told you, my mother got divorced when I was in class two. Father passed away, and then I was raised up, without my biological parents. So obviously, as a youth, I used to face so many difficulties, so many temptations, and church was my, stepping point. So I used to go to my pastor used to counsel me, my believers around me. They used to fellowship with me, control me from so many bad ideas. I even had the idea of committing suicide when I was a very young child. And my church pastors and my church members, my church elders, they used to give me fellowship now oftenly, so that like I could get myself to the right path. And that's why like church has taken a very major role in reaching to this condition, I should say. So I truly, praise God and like glorify him for all he has done in my life. It's all because of him I'm right here today in front of everyone else.
So which church do you attend? Because you said you are in Moirang, right?
Moirang, there is a church called, the first church which I ever go was a Baptist church, and the church name is Manipur People Baptist Church. And after 5 years, I changed to a church called Vine and Branches Church. It's Moirang. And for the past 6 years, when I was in Fall, I went to a church called Ministry of Reconciliation by Pastor Manu. And that's a service done in Hotel Nirmala. So there's a crowd about like 100 to 200, sometimes reaching 300 people sometimes.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So you have always been, you have, I guess, built up your strength and your willpower and life and taking life, from all your presence in the church.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for sharing that. And, it must have been a very difficult situation for you growing up without your biological parents. But as you have mentioned, you're blessed with very supportive and your uncle. And, those are the good things you have. And I
Yeah.
think the song, what you mentioned, like thousand, is that thousand things
10,000.
which you,
10, yeah.
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. It's the title of the song.
Wow. Could you sing a little bit for us?
You want me to sing?
Like, yeah, why not? One or two line of your favorite song.
Okay, I'll just go very shortly with that song called 10,000 Reasons, and then I'll just see what can be done for the best. So
All right, go
this is a
ahead.
song particularly sang by this person called Matt Raymond. So I'll just present the song. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me. Let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship his holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. So that's it.
Thank you. That's awesome. I want to share some of the comments from our listeners. From Singhajit Ningthojam. Hi, Rohan. Really appreciate your courage to ride from India Gate to Imphal with a beautiful message of pollution, awareness, inspiration, and motivation. You have shown to the world that change should be made from ourselves. We need more like you to
Mhm,
make a positive change. What make you
mhm.
to take this bicycle ride? So that is one of the questions.
Okay, ma'am. So that was Singerjet in Thousand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think I answer this way. Like there's a famous saying: if you want to see any change around you, let you be the change yourself. Let you be the change first. So if you want to see change around us, then like we should change ourselves first. So the change starts from within, from inside of us. So if we can conquer ourselves, then we can conquer so many people around here. So that's the thing what I'm doing now. So if I want to reduce the pollution, then I just stopped using bikes, and I just stopped using all this vehicles, and then I just made a challenge to all citizens of India by riding all the way from Delhi to Manipur. That's the first challenge that I've been making to all over the citizens of India. So the second question is, which he asked was like how I got this inspiration to do this kind of thing. So it was a kind of purpose with a plan, or purpose with a passion. So as I just mentioned, I had a passion of riding bicycle, but I just keep with a purpose so that I can at least influence the citizen of country.
Right. Excellent answer. And I just put that picture to show the impact that how many people you're reaching. So this is, I think, in Assam. And I love this picture, like, such a warm, lovely reception for you.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been received by so many people from army personnel, and so many of my brothers. They are around me. They are waiting for me next to me, like ma'am. They're waiting next to me for me to complete this interview, and we are going to interact again after this
Oh,
session.
that's
So
cool. Yeah.
uh, so today, as you have seen in my live video, around 50 Meitei people, they came by their own vehicle, and they came to pick me up from this Nagaland gate. So everywhere else that I go, that was in the management college of Guwahati. It was
This
in
one.
hospitality, yeah,
Yeah.
management college.
Yeah. I'm just flipping through your picture one more time just to show how much of impact you're making, starting from self and then, sharing the message. So look at that.
Yeah,
I love that
sometimes I
picture.
enjoy a lot. That bridge is in Bihar, and it's called I forgot exactly the name, but it was a floating. That was a picture. It was a picture taken by Papu's Yadav, members. Papu's Yadav
I
personal
see. I
person,
see.
and
And look
that
at
was a
that.
picture
You're giving
that
autograph. When
yeah,
I meet you
autograph,
next, I
yeah.
will take your autograph.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's really nice to see how you are mingling with all, people from different segment of life, different profession.
Thank you
And
very
I
much.
can see the energy. Oh, yeah. And I love this picture of you and June.
Yeah, that's my very loving sister, I should say. I should speak about her too. She is already a very renowned singer in Manipur, but like she was doing, live shows for the sake of me in order to raise up money for me. So she was doing it free of cost. And it was mind blowing for me for such a, very, renowned and reputed singer singing for the sake of me without paying any bucks from my own pocket, and it was something wow from my side, and I
Yeah,
really
I
appreciate
know.
her.
It's really amazing how, people come together to support each other. And I think I'm so happy to see that's happening, like in your initiative too. So what I'm hearing is, there was a live concert to raise fund for your cycling event, and, June Nilu and everybody came together and sang and, made it possible for you. That's absolutely wonderful. I didn't know about your background, and I'm really inspired that you have come up to be a very positive human being, taking change in your hand to start with yourself, dealing with your personal, like growing up without parents, and even your personal challenge. You have shared that you even thought of committing suicide, and how you your involvement with the church has empowered you, and it's really nice. So thank you so much for sharing it from your heart, and spreading the positivity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so let me share one more comment.
Uh-huh.
Singhajit also says, next ride from Dimapur, I want you to be with Manipur flag. Salai Taretki Firal till Imphal. Best of luck. We are always with you. Thanks, Iche Monica, for this wonderful time with Rohan. Yay Fare.
Okay, ma'am. Yes, this was also one of my plan which I've been planning all the way from Delhi. Because uh, sometimes there's a particular saying that you have to dance according to the music from time to time. So um, uh, I think it was not a mistake for me to come with an Indian flag all the way from Delhi till Nagaland, and I think it won't be a mistake for me to go with a Manipur flag from Mauget, which is the starting of Manipur, till Imphal. I hope so, because you know. Because like I have to do from time to time. I have to speak from time to time. I cannot speak in Manipuri language in UP and Bihar and like bridge the messages there. It all depends from time to time. So there were so many advantages for me to carry this Indian national flag in back of me, and that was the such a privilege to carry my national flag in with me. I have got so many salutes from many of the army officers and so many of the police. Yeah, they respect the Indian flag so much, and that was the advantage of carrying the Indian flag. And yes, I'm a Manipuri, and I'm proud to be a Manipuri. I've already uploaded that I'm an Indian, and I know that, and I'm proud to be. And I've uploaded that picture to the Indian, like with the Manipuri flag today in my Facebook page. And it all depends from time to time. So I'm to put up the Manipuri flag from Maug so that I can with my flying color of my national flag. So that yeah, plan right now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome that you have thought through this. And there is one more comment from Tamo Anil Kumar Yankom. Thank you, Tamo, for watching. So his comment, I'm just going to read it out for you. Hi, Rohan. Nice to hear
Okay.
your amazing journey. Though there is lot of audio and video disturbances today. Great feed. Try Southeast Asia next. Hi, Monica. You look beautiful and refreshed as always. Keep up the good work, sis. So yeah, everybody is looking forward for you to do more of this, and it gives a strong energy of integration between different people all over India, and now you will be doing internationally. Yeah, I want to thank you for coming to our show and wish you good luck, and also to our listeners, extending my requests on behalf of Rohan to help him and help him pitch in any ways you can, so that he will be successful in what he is aiming. And it's really nice, for someone from Manipur to be coming out and doing this. So yeah, good luck. And thank you so much for your time. And you look really tired. So I think you should relax. And I know a lot of people are waiting for you now. And I'm sure a lot of people are waiting in Manipur for your big reception once you reach there. Be safe and keep sharing the positive vibes for anti-pollution.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for like inviting me in such a very great show, and it's my privilege to come and speak in the show. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. All right, to everybody who's watching, as always, thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day. Thank you.